What would the world look like if women set the standard for what was professional? I was recently going down a rabbit hole of the work sign trend that happened on TikTok.
How to dress like an office siren. First, start with a fitted blouse, turtleneck, or high neck tank. Next, a pencil skirt or low-waisted fitted trousers. For shoes, a pointed kitten heel. Put your hair either up and a little undone or down and sleek. The most important part, a pair of rectangular glasses. Work bag is optional, and that's it.
And along that journey, I found a TikTok of Michelle Obama.
I think a lot of young people, a lot of people in general, because of their narrow view of what's possible, they find themselves limiting what life could look like. And I always challenge young people now to first think about your why. Don't think about the what. Don't worry about numbers and titles, because you can have all that. And I've seen people have it all and they're still not happy.
Right.
He could have a big, high-paying job, a great career. Maybe he decides to get married, have kids, but then he'll have no time for them. And then he'll be disgruntled about that.
Sounds familiar.
Sounds familiar. Stop checking boxes, first of all, and start thinking a little bit bigger about what a happy life can look like.
And I loved her hairstyle, but I noticed in the comment sections, people were very judgmental.
Who told Michelle to do her hair like that at her grown age?
I noticed that a lot of the judgment was centered around her professionalism.
The content has substance, but the hairstyle takes away from these valuable conversations.
Or the fact that she's a former first lady.
She looks ridiculous as a former first lady.
And if you're on the side of TikTok, there was recently a woman who actually came out against nurses.
About the ghetto antics. I hate to say it, but it's ghetto. It literally is. You're a nurse practitioner and you are literally going into work with lashes out to here, face in full glam like you're about to go to the club, wearing nails out to here while you're treating patients. It is absurd. I have not seen this with any other profession.
But there were a lot of people with a lot of things to say.
Honey, to the young lady that made that whole post about nurse practitioners and their lashes, one thing about me, I'm going to wear my lashes. I think you're really just mad because we are now sitting at the table with you. Scoot over. Clock that tea.
And some of them didn't even have to say anything. They just had to show up in uniform. And I think that if a world was run by women, the idea of professionalism would differ. And I do think women who criticize how others show up, especially when it comes to lashes or nails, are really coming from a misogynistic lens. I think we obviously should be asking ourselves, why are other women judging other women? And would they be judging them the same if they weren't trying to adhere to some patriarchal standard?
I think certain looks should be reserved for the club and not the workplace. I just want to provide clarification. I didn't say that you should not wear makeup to work. I wear makeup to work. And I didn't say you shouldn't wear lashes to work. I just said there's certain types of lashes. I was referencing certain types of lashes, and really heavy makeup I do think is unprofessional. This is not about any racial group. This is anybody. And when I say heavy makeup, I'm not talking about someone if you have to wear a lot of concealer or stuff on your face because you have like blemishes or whatever and you want to feel and look your best. I want everyone to feel and look their best. Nursing can be really hard. Healthcare is really hard. I make a point to make sure that I try to do my makeup and my hair.
When I think about Michelle Obama and how cute her little space buns are, or Mickey Mouse ears, or whatever people want to call them, I just think, wow, I love seeing a woman own a cute hairstyle and show up, no matter her status or her age, in a dress that feels comfortable to her. I felt similarly towards Hillary Clinton. She was more femme presenting when Bill Clinton was elected and went more mask as she continued on as a solo elected official. And the thing about Hillary I actually did love throughout the years were her suits. And the things that men hated about Hillary through the years were her suits. And the things that people in the comment sections of Michelle Obama's TikTok seemed to hate was the way that she came presenting as a quote child and a child's hairstyle.
What the hell is on her head? Is she like 10 years old?
But is it childlike, or is it just something we associate with like free thinking or free spirited or maybe youthful? But is there anything wrong with an older woman exhibiting youthful behavior in a way that makes sense and can still be professional? I think about the show Grace and Frankie.
I am going back to work.
Good. Where?
To my company.
The one you gave to Brianna?
The one I built from nothing.
Okay, brava.
Where's my phone?
Miss.
Huh? Oh.
So, where's Brianna gonna work?
You know what? I'm gonna go.
Oh, can I come with you?
Get your own job.
I've got a job.
Yeah, teaching convicts.
Oh, we call them rehabilitated former offenders.
Is this what we're calling them now? It's good to know.
I'm obviously a Frankie if I had to pick one, but I do love both, and I think both show up in their unique and very professional way.
I'd like to introduce my legal counsel, Nwabudike Douglas Bergstein.
Yes.
Yes, I'm familiar with your son, who I grew up with. Hello, Budless.
Oh, we're bringing Budless back? Okay, well then, hello, Brianna Donna Ding Dong.
Never caught on.
At my house, it did.
After you.
No, I insist.
I insist, Brianna Donna Ding Dong.
Please take a seat, Frankie.
No, please, avail yourself.
Relax, sit down.
No, I insist that you take a seat.
I think regardless of how Frankie showed up, it was the fact that she always looked well groomed and put together and intentional that conveyed professionalism to me. And I think that Grace, when she showed up, conveyed corporate professionalism, which is fair and fine. But I think professionalism can show up in a lot of different ways.
Would you wear this outfit to work? And remember, I'm not asking you if I should wear it because I already am. Let's begin. The outfit in question. I am wearing this, one, because it's adorable. Two, the cut of the blazer hides how tiny my waist is, yet how, you know what I'm saying? The skirt meets me right where my fingertips fall, but I do have on tights to, make it a little bit more profesh. I did go with a V-neck cut for the top, but I'm a dealership siren. I'm set up a little bit different, The bar is set a little lower for me.
And as a YouTuber, something I struggle with is the fact that when YouTube first started, we weren't supposed to show up professional. It was the opposite. We were supposed to show up as ourselves, our normal, real selves. So I just wear the clothes that are in my closet. And since I've never worked a corporate job, I've never had corporate clothing. It never really fit me as a person. I'm a little too free-spirited. So when I show up on stream, there is a standard of professionalism that's expected of us. And I think when you're a creative versus a professional or a politician, one, you're dealing with a completely different budget. And two, you're dealing with a very different crowd. You'll see from this short clip as an example of men in the creative versus professional space that Good Mythical Morning comes more relaxed than Jimmy Fallon. Though you would think late night entertainers are creatives, they are more in the professional sphere than you would think. You can notice little differences like Jimmy Fallon wearing a tie versus Good Mythical Morning not wearing a tie. You can notice that their suit jackets are more open and have flair, patterns, and display different nuanced colors, though they are muted. They are different than Jimmy Fallon's form of expression, which is honestly kind of plain, but makes sense as a late night host. Now, I was watching The Financial Diet with Chelsea, and Chelsea had a guest on named Les, and Les was telling a story about showing up.
We're talking incredibly, incredibly slim women who are the face of this. And the reality is, with any exercise, and obviously this as a trainer, what makes you really slim is not working out, it's just eating less. Those things are not even that correlated. But there is this overwhelming, and I think now, especially in the past few years, there's become, we say, and it's kind of the return of heroin chic. There is this huge rise of, thinness being conflated with wellness. And we've seen even a lot of celebrities getting down to extremely alarming weights. How did you navigate separating out wanting to actually be healthy from wanting to look the way people think healthy looks?
It was really, really hard, especially in my earlier days of being a trainer. Especially back then, a lot of your success depended on how you look.
Right.
Like your body was your business card. And also during that time, we had a lot of like the Tone It Up, the Kayla Itzenys, the bikini body guides.
The like slim, thick
They were using like their abs and like the way their bodies look to sell these programs. And so like if you don't have a body like that, who wants to work with you? Who wants to train with you? It was this very odd thing. And so I ended up going out of gyms and not teaching fitness classes anymore, probably around like 2017, because I just felt like being that deep in gym culture was really toxic, and spending that much time in spaces where people talk about fitness was really toxic.
So was moving away from wellness for you also partially just sort of being able to move away from how you look being, like you say, kind of a report card?
In some ways, but I've found that it's kind of come back around where it's like, if you're on camera all the time, still how you look matters. Yeah. So I'm not maybe as concerned about like what people think of my abs or lack thereof. But now that I have a podcast that's not only an audio podcast, but a video podcast, well, now I notice that when I'm on social media and I have a cute outfit and my hair is done and my makeup's done and I have good lighting, the episodes perform better and they get more shares and more people are listening. And if it's dimmer lighting when I'm at home and it's more chill, that doesn't necessarily get the reach that we need to get. So unfortunately, in my experience as a woman online, how I look kind of always matters, but how it matters has shifted.
And I find this fascinating because I see this in my own job where, I will show up feeling good about myself. And I think that's really important. And I'm 35 for context. But I also notice that, opportunities can be lost because businesses, sponsorships, corporations want somebody they can latch onto who has a clear and concise brand. Now, I don't consider myself an influencer in a traditional sense, which Chelsea also talked about on that podcast.
There's just a perception when you do things online. Like, for example, I'm sure that some people might refer to you as an influencer. To me, you're not an influencer. You're like a media founder. Do you know what I mean? And I think these are very different things. Your job is not unboxing clothes on in your bedroom. And yet I think, and again, part of that's misogyny too, but it's there's a need to delegitimize a lot of these things that I sometimes struggle with letting go of.
I think that that's really honest. And no, it is. And I think there are definitely a lot of aspects to that I can relate to. And I think that there are probably a lot of women out there who feel very similar versions of that. And I think with having an online business, I think people just don't necessarily understand the reach and the impact that we can really have. Like last night, I was on TikTok Live and somebody asked, would you ever want to host a talk show? And I was thinking honestly,
you totally should.
I could, but I'm also I kind of have one. And
you do.
I could potentially get higher reach posting my episodes on YouTube than necessarily a network show at this point. And when we think about the network shows, are we actually sitting down to watch them, or are we looking at the social media clips that get so much more reach than the, shows themselves?
That is true.
I consider myself a philosopher. That sounds kind of silly, but I created a philosophy system. I'm presenting the project to the universe or to the online communities. I talk about politics. I talk about, people. I talk about my special interests. I talk about my life. I consider myself more of an creative than an influencer. An influencer to me is somebody who takes brand deals and pushes out content because they are brand friendly. I've never been brand friendly. I don't get very many sponsorships, if at all. And so for me, I don't consider myself that particular type of influencer or content creator. And so I think for me, knowing your categorization is so important. I want to build something that's lifelong. I just am doing it as more of a creative. And so professionalism is interesting in the way that it shows up in the world. And so I want to sort of play along with a little bit of a hypothetical, but not anything that actually makes sense within the constructs of the world, because the world is too pressured by the patriarchy at the moment. What are types of dress that are considered professional to me that wouldn't be to other people?
Is it actually sexist for the company to say to you, we'd like you to look fantastic as well, and to look glamorous and to wear heels and really set a kind of whoa?
Well, that's the last bit, isn't it? To look professional, great. Not to look glamorous or to have to wear heels.
But don't the two go hand in hand?
No, they don't. You said men would be playing a part, and you think that a man wearing a suit and smart flat shoes is playing the part. What kind of part are we telling women that they need to play if their part...
Same as the men, I think.
No, if your part includes wearing lipstick, wearing heels, which change your physicality, they were designed to make women look sexier, not more professional.
Do you object to wearing lipstick as a receptionist in a company like that?
I would object to being told that I have to, yeah.
I do think certain jobs and certain positions in the jobs, if you're the face of that company taking in clients, I don't think it's massively unreasonable for them to say, we don't really want you in flats walking these guys or women
I think the point
to meet our
isn't
meetings.
It? Where is the line between smart, requirement for everybody in this particular job, and the line then from smart to glamorous, blurring that line slightly, and then from glamorous to sexy?
All I've ever been told is, as a receptionist, we want you to look smart and professional. If I was told, we want you to look sexy and attractive and fit the stereotype of a female as we see it, as we've seen it since the 1950s.
And that's what women are worried is the message that is being sent when they are told they are required
to wear heels. But
if
you're a nurse on a busy hospital ward, I absolutely get heels, of course, are not appropriate. Actually, they would be damaging to your ability to do your job. But if you're in a presentational kind of job, male or female, could be a male receptionist, he has to wear a smart suit or whatever.
I would happily wear a female brogue, the same, and are you then saying that your shoes aren't smart?
No, but if I started coming in high heels, like 6-inch Louboutins, for example, somebody would say to me, Piers, I have a bit of a problem with this. Can you stop wearing the high heels? That would be reverse sexism.
It would be reverse sexism, but unfortunately, we're, as we always have been, the ones at a disadvantage, and we're the ones who are trying to get up to your level. We don't want to bring you down to ours. Sure.
And so I've collected like a bunch of pictures that I want to show you of examples of, and I'll flash them on the screen here, outfits that I think are professional and you could show up looking this way and I would still want to work with you, be seen with you, network with you. You know, we talked about the medical field because of that TikTok going viral. And if my nurse showed up with lashes and nails, as long as they can do their job, I'm more than happy, and honestly kind of prefer it because it conveys and signals to me a level of like normal and human and relaxed.
After standing up for herself, a nurse with rainbow-colored hair has become an internet celebrity. The woman, Mary Walls Penny, posted this photo on Facebook and wrote about an incident that occurred on July 9th. Penny wrote about going to a store after work when a cashier made a scene about her hair. The cashier said she was surprised that the nursing facility where Penny works allowed her to practice nursing. Penny wrote how she couldn't recall an instance where the color of her hair, her tattoos, or her piercings have ever prevented her from being able to provide encouragement to her patients, listen to their last wishes, or offer words of comfort to a grieving family.
And at the same time, if you came in no makeup and no lashes and no nails, that would also convey to me professional and relaxed and very human. I'm not wearing any makeup on this podcast. I've been, for the last few days or so, just showing up on stream barefaced. And a big part of it is because I can. 2, I feel comfortable. And 3, I think I'm trying to prove to myself whether or not I need it. Does my audience need me to wear makeup for them to view me more? And this is a test I do as a content creator that other content creators have done. For some women, they do perform better if they're wearing makeup and have good fashion sense and costumes, even if their audience is female. Women aren't exempt from wanting to look at pretty things. Women and femme people, non-binary people, we also like to look at things that are fashionable and pretty. I think that says something about us, but it doesn't have to be good or bad. It doesn't have to be a judgment. It can just be I've observed this and I find this to be true. I am not upset that people will watch me more if I wear makeup. I just think it's something that we have to pay attention to and then decide how to interact with it. I'm not upset because, at the end of the day, I'm still willing to come on stream barefaced. I'm willing to do a podcast barefaced. I just think it doesn't matter too much. You know what I mean? This is what I look like. This is how I was born. I'm good with it. But at the same time, if I want to dress up, I want to dress up. I don't want to pick or choose. You remember when Alicia Keys was going on her whole no makeup thing and Pam Anderson is doing it now? I love that. I just don't want to have to put myself in a box where I'm like, I never wear makeup. I just want to wear it when I want to wear it. And I don't want to have to wear it when I don't have to wear it. And if I have to show up to work and they expect me to come full face, full glam, I'll wear it. I remember one time I was looking for a job many, many, many years ago, and I went to Sephora for a job, and I wasn't into makeup. I've never really been into makeup. I've always loved the idea of being into it. I still have my Kat Von D eyeshadow palettes from back in the day before she was an anti-vaxxer. Spent thousands of dollars at Sephora. Frustrated that I don't really love makeup as much as everyone else, but I want to love it. I want to love it because I love it on other people. I just never loved it enough to make it a special interest. I remember I went to Sephora and I was going for this job interview and they were like, you have to wear 14 types of makeup or thing on your face. And I said, 14? And they said, yes. So moisturizer, foundation, I don't even know how to name all of them, lip liner, blush, shimmer, something, 14 different things. And I was like, 14? And I thought to myself, I couldn't even come up with 7. And you want me to wear 14? And I was like, I can't do this. And the girl next to me who was also applying, beautiful. Her makeup was gorgeous. And she goes, oh yeah, I'm easily wearing that right now. And I looked at her and I was like, you should take this job. You belong at this job. I just thought I could work at Sephora because I liked skincare or I liked makeup, but I didn't love makeup. And I think that there is a point at work, and what I'm trying to convey to you now, where showing up to your job could mean wearing 14 different layers of makeup or skincare. And that's okay. And that's made for somebody. And somebody who really loves makeup should have that job. And then somebody else can have a job where wearing a full face of makeup isn't necessary. But regardless of the job you will have, somebody will decide if you're professional or not. I think for myself, the way I gauge if somebody's being professional at work or somebody's not being professional is their level of grooming and their level of this feels like PJs at home to this feels like I came to work today. It doesn't necessarily have to look exactly how corporate America expects you to look, but I do expect some level of attempt of try. Like if I was working in a corporate office, for real, I wouldn't wear this dress. I think it's too casual. I think it's perfect for like a little home office. I think it's perfect for, sundresses are like perfect for be like mom and pop. I feel like mom and pop, almost anything can work as long as it's not PJs and as long as you're presentable. But I think if you're working in corporate, you like step it up. It could still be fashionable. So let's say women ruled the world. And there's a little bit of a skit I want to show you guys that sort of conveys the energy I think would happen if women ruled the world.
Hello. Greetings and welcome. Thank you so much for coming today. This is our first World Summit since the revolution, where we ascended to power, replacing our male counterparts. It's been a busy few years, yeah?
To say the least. What's on the agenda? Yes, first of all, the economy. Well, actually, everything's great here. Yep, us too. We're cool.
Us too. Same here. Jill?
Yep, all good here, no problems. Great, okay, environment. Is anyone having any environmental problems, anyone?
No.
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 None. Ditto. And what about conflict, social justice, any war, any hardship, conflict in their continents?
No, we just talk it out these days. Yeah, we find it's very helpful to write things down and then sleep on it, see if we feel the same way the next day.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, us too. There was some conflict with my California and Jill's old South America, and then we just realized we were angry at ourselves, weren't we? I mean, I was projecting all my shit onto this one. And then I realized it was just my stuff onto her, so I'm so happy that we're cool now. Yes, very cool.
Well, I think that's it, ladies. Everything seems to be in order.
Yeah.
Okay. I can't believe that this summit used to take days. Anyone want to grab some rings?
But of course, this doesn't extend to fashion in the skit, so I want to extend to fashion in our hypothetical here. I do think if femme women and women who have deconstructed the patriarchy and women who are queer adjacent, right? If those women allowed fashion to show up however in workspaces, but came professional, it would be a range of expression. Because I do think once you've deconstructed fashion, you realize like the color of someone's hair just doesn't matter. The professionalism of someone's hair could be in braids or not in braids. Like the professionalism of somebody's expression could show up in very colorful or very muted. And I think that men in particular in America have moved fashion in a direction that allows only them to feel powerful in their expression. And this is why we saw J.D. Vance and Trump laughing at Zelensky for the way he showed up not in a suit.
Why don't you wear a suit? Why don't you wear a suit? You're the highest level in this country's office and you refuse to wear a suit. Just want to see if you do own a suit?
Yeah, problems.
A lot of Americans have problems with you not
Really?
respecting
I don't have
the
such.
office.
I will wear a costume after this war will finish.
These conservative pundits, these people who get on YouTube and say, oh, look at these liberals and leftists and these people, you can tell they're liberals because of how they dress. And they're literally just dressed like normal people. But conservatives are now signaling that they're better because they're in these high-end suits. They're very well groomed. But the irony, of course, is like their level of grooming is just one specific way to groom. They're not counting all the other ways that other communities show up groomed that they're not even accounting for or even would count as well groomed. And so, this has been on my mind for a while because when I saw the siren trend on TikTok, I was thinking to myself, a lot of these outfits actually could be fine at work, but a lot of people were giving advice to these girls saying, you will get fired. Please don't come to work looking this way. Like they will not take you seriously. And I kept thinking like, who's not taking you seriously though? Who are the people who are looking at this like particular outfit and are thinking, I can't take you seriously. Why not?
They told me that I'm not going to get the job because of my outfit. Are you kidding me? Okay, let me calm down. This was going to be my first job, and I prepared. I Googled what to wear to a first interview, and this is basically what came up. Yeah, I mean, I added these because I wanted to like add a little bit of myself, because I wanted to stand out, and I kind of just wanted to kind of be like the office siren, tell me this is an office siren. And based on what I saw there, yeah, they were in desperate need of an office siren. So I guess the joke's on you.
And it's because people haven't deconstructed. Look, we literally have rules. I had rules in my high school. I went to public high school for 2 years that if you couldn't have anything off the shoulder, and if you had a spaghetti strap, it had to be like this thick. It couldn't just be a thin spaghetti strap. You would get dress coded. You'd have to wear an ugly shirt that they gave you, right? And my school colors were brown and yellow. Brown and yellow. Okay, so please put that together. And so you would get dress coded, right? And who's that for? They said, oh, it's a distraction. For who? Now, look, we're evolved animals over millions of years, so I believe in evolution here. And I know there's some part of your animal brain that's like, is that a collarbone? Ooh, is that a collarbone? But also, can we not deconstruct the collarbone? Can we not teach children to value people's vessels, to grow into adults who don't get distracted because a girl's skirt is a little shorter than they're expecting? And that's it. At the end of the day, that's the irony, that the same people who are telling us women aren't smart enough, women aren't capable enough, femmes just can't get it, are the same people who are like, spaghetti straps, I can't focus, spaghetti straps. I just wanted to have this conversation with you because I think the idea around professionalism is ironic and reasonable, but silly. And yes, I think there are ways to show up unprofessional to the office. I just think there are so many more ways to show up professional that people don't even comprehend or are open-minded to because it just doesn't fit their narrative. And this is why I say pop the bubble and allow your perspective to open up to other ways of, showing up professional. Because we're really missing out on opportunities to express ourselves, to socialize better, and to make people feel a little bit more comfortable when coming to work. Again, I'm not going to get distracted by your spaghetti strap, but maybe the people who are should just not come to work. And if they're going to work, they should work in therapy. Well, work it out in therapy, rather. All right, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. And let me know what you think in the comment sections down below. And I will talk to you guys next time. Bye-bye.